You have light magic, you have dark magic. You have to understand alchemy. What's alchemy? Turning base metals to gold. That's a form of magic. And then once you understand alchemy, right? I recommend a book for y'all to read called The Alchemist, all right? The reason why they had it's an ancient thing that was called the Philosopher's Stone, which is an actual real thing. The Philosopher's Stones actually exist, and there was three of them, all right? They only tell you it was one, but it was three of these stones, and actually nine. This is where Dragon Ball Z get the whole Dragon Ball thing. Gotta catch them all, right? Gotta catch them all, right? In Dragon Ball Z. And there was 7 Dragon Balls scattered all around their little universe. Well, that come from the Philosopher's Stone, okay? Now, the Philosopher's Stone, all right, within it, it holds I'm trying to use a word to describe it because the words, the dictionary is not filled with enough words to describe what we do because what we do is pass words. Remember, this is an alphabet system we gave them. All right, I'm gonna hold off on words. All right, I'm gonna hold off on what words are. We're gonna get to that too. Just stay in class. We're gonna get to that too. But this Philosopher's Stone, let's just say it holds the right vibrations, right, to say. Because each word is filled with what? Alphabets. And each alphabet is nothing but a symbol. And each symbol, all right, when said a certain way, you're using vibrations, right? From your esophagus. Now, the esophagus is the actual instrument. This is where music comes in at. All your instruments and music, all right, you have organs within you that make the same exact sounds. So every single, like the drum, the violin, you have organs within you that make all of these same sounds. All right. So your esophagus is literally an organ, right? It's not just something that's connected to your throat. It's an actual organ. Okay. And because we have not been using our esophagus the correct way, certain words that need to be said to activate this magic, you are not able to say them because you don't know them. So this is what the Philosopher's Stone is. The Philosopher's Stone, and it's 9 of them. All right, they got them scattered out. All right, it's 3 of them that's here on this realm, and the other 6 is scattered on different realms. It wasn't like that originally. All 9 Philosopher's Stones was right here on Atlantis. All right, but when the war broke out and we fell in frequency, they were able to steal 3. And to make sure that they didn't get the other 6, they were scattered out. So kind of think of Thanos. This is where Thanos comes from in Avengers when they talk about him having to trying to get all of the stones, right? He trying to get all the stones, right, in his glove. And he only needed 6, but in real life it's 9. Okay, that in Dragon Ball Z, all this comes from the Philosopher's Stone, which is a real thing. Now, within these stones, when you grasp them, right, within them, it's the exact electrical codes, the exact vibratory clicks and sounds that are needed to be said within using only the esophagus to create what you need to create. Now, this is what the Vatican and Queen Elizabeth uses to do their little forms of magic. They're using the 3 little Philosopher's Stones they have, and every time they use one, they need us to do it. Okay, so this is what Hollywood was all about. All right. But you have to understand that when we want to figure out, because this is one thing to know, yeah, we know we gods and goddesses and all of that, but it's like, okay, well, we gods and goddesses, why the fuck they control everything, right? That's the question you should ask yourself. And this is where magic comes in at. Why can't we get along, y'all? Magic, you know what I'm saying, being used on us. Why is it that no matter, we can sit here right here on in this lecture and talk all day, this good talk about how now we rise and this is our planet, this is our land, but then yet motherfuckers will get off this live and go to sleep and be content and won't make a change or nothing, right? We be lazy, right? Magic, right? Magic. Now, one must have, this is where science comes in at. You must truly, I'm going to repeat it because you must truly understand what magic is. It does me no good to go into a full lecture about light magic versus dark magic without drilling into your soul exactly what magic is. You have to get away from your mind and your soul and, oh, magic is just, wada, tuda, ta-da. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they show you that, but what you never thought about is any movie you watch with magic, right? Any cartoon you watch with magic, they always had words they used, right? It was always the power of their words, right? When they cast in spells, they always had to say it first, right? You should ask yourself why. Like hocus pocus. Hocus pocus. All these little words. Why? Why is it that any form of magic requires your esophagus? Because the esophagus is an organ. Anytime you speak, every word you speak, you're using this organ right here. This is not a muscle. This is the actual organ. But in biology, they'll tell you the esophagus is a muscle. But it's an organ. And it's literally only it's supposed to be used for magic, to create. In the Bible, they spoke about magic without even telling you. What did they have to do? What did the God, Satan, have to do to create? What was he saying? Let there be light. Let there be. So he spoke it. He used words. So that's, once again, don't look at them as words being used. You're not going to grasp the lesson. Go deeper within yourself. Remember, because remember, you already know this stuff. I'm just here to help you remember who you are. You already know it. He was using the reason why they emphasize words. Let there be light. Let there be this. Let there be animals. Let's separate the water from the and he told the water, he separated the waters from above and from the waters from below, and thus it was. That's because that's a form of magic. You're not using any magic without using the esophagus. Now, understand that no magic can be activated. Keyword, activated, right? Without using this organ called the esophagus. It cannot be activated. When Hitler was coming to power in Germany, what made him be able to grab so many people? The esophagus. When Barack Obama was able to reel us into voting for him and believing in him, what was he using? The esophagus. They tell you nothing is more stronger than what? The power of what? Your words. But think deeper. It's not the words that has the magic. It's the esophagus. The esophagus is literally the instrument, the organ, all right, that is required to activate what we know as magic. That's the kind way to activate it, because without the flesh, you can activate it using telepathy, all electricity, all high forms of celestial energy, photon energy that's in you. Okay, that's the first thing you have to understand. You have to understand, why are your words so powerful? Because you are using this organ called the esophagus.